I'm here with Angie Simon, President of Western Allied Mechanical and President of SMACNA, newly elected, and first woman president of SMACNA ever. Angie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Jeff.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Super excited about this. Really looking forward to going and seeing all of our contractors this year and sharing ideas and initiatives, and just excited to be here.
Well, you know, you've had a lot of lead time into the role, and you know, now that it's here, has anything changed for you, or what are your first kind of steps out of the gate?
You know, watching my predecessors do such a great job in the role, and understanding that our job is just to help promote SMACNA, as I see how well Nathan did before me, and shows what you should do as president. And this year I really just hope to get the word out to all of our contractors of how much SMACNA could do for them, because I think sometimes I'd love more of our contractors to know what a benefit they have with SMACNA.
And so what advice did they give to you in terms of time and management of a continuing and thriving business with the volunteer activities?
Every company's different. I'm really, really lucky in that we're a little bit larger than, for example, Nathan's firm was, and I have a lot of great partners, and so they're going to be able to cover for me. But Nathan did explain to me very much that how busy he was with the travel, and it is a challenge at times. But we are grateful that we live in a world today where we can communicate almost anywhere. We can be working from anywhere. So I think I'm going to have to continue to work on communicating with my team back at the office. But they don't expect me to be in my office quite as much, so I guess I can't form the line outside my office this year as much as they did in the past.
So when you go and travel around and you're in different chapters and you can picture yourself there, you know, first might be one of the first and only women executives that have come to speak to them in the contractor role. What message do you bring to them in addition to SMACNA information? Well,
I think it's going to be a great year for everyone to see. There needs to be more women involved, but they need to be qualified women. And I think that as other women see qualified women in that position, we may have more women be interested in that. But we need the men also to understand that. And I think if I can share messages, if I can share what my business is with the fellow contractors, and they can feel comfortable that I'm a qualified person and that I know what I'm doing. I'm a mechanical engineer by education, but just really that they understand that I'm just one of the guys as well, and and there's really no difference between me and a guy. I'm just female, and so I think that needs to happen going forward, because I think inclusion is important.
Great. What do you think with regard to the SMACNA messaging is going to be the primary points that you drive home this year?
Well, workforce development and retention, which is really important right now. We all are struggling to find qualified workers, enough workers. We also know that 42% of our industry is going to retire in the next 10 years. So, and we're not putting enough people back into the industry at the lower rate to handle that. So, that's going to be one of our biggest focuses. And how do we increase that? We need to publicize our industry as a great place to work. Need to share the ideas with everybody of how wonderful it is to be in this industry, how much money they can make in this industry, and what good they can do in this industry. We have to open up the industry to more inclusion. We need to look at the areas that are underrepresented right now, which would be minorities and women. And 51% of the nation's women. And I think right now within the sheet metal industry, we're about 4% women. So we have a lot of manpower, women power, I guess we could say, that we could use there as well. So I think it's part of the solution to helping us find more people for our industry. So one, publicize our industry. That's a big one. Other initiatives?
Technology. Where does technology stand for you?
So technology is moving so fast, and we as a construction industry don't change well sometimes. I think we don't move real fast. We need to move faster. And so what our goal here as SMACNA is we're going to set up a technology committee, and our goal is to help our contractors understand the current technologies, what's out there for them, so that they can learn about them, understand it, publicize it, do a lot of your great newsletters, give them more information about technology, because it's hard to keep up with it. And particularly most of our contractors aren't going to be able to have an IT person or a technology person on a staff. I mean, most of them are too small for that. So if they can get their technology information from SMACNA, we can tell them about some of the amazing things that can be done with technology. That also will help help soften our manpower issue, because I think when we're more efficient with technology, we might need less qualified manpower. So that's one. We have a third initiative, and that third initiative is to increase our technical staff some, because they're in such high demand, and SMACNA contractors are using our technical staff, and our technical staff is writing articles, they are being involved in codes, they're working with code officials, and solving problems for our members, and working on manuals, and we're just shorthanded in there. So one of our goals is to increase that technical department as well.
Definitely a lot of initiatives that are on the plate. What is this going to do personally for you in terms of family? How are you going to manage being away from? I know you have a tight family, so
Yeah.
what is that going to be like?
You know, my husband retired a year ago, which was wonderful. So I'm hoping he's going to travel some with me to a lot of this when we can. 2 boys in college, both of them graduating this year. So I think that they're both very independent at this point. For my husband and I, we know it's a year. It's going to be a whirlwind year, and we're looking forward to that. I'm thinking that when I'm home, I'm really going to appreciate my own bed. But other than that, I think we're going to handle it just fine. So we do have a dog, so we're going to have to find a dog sitter when we go out and travel. But other than that, maybe we can get one of the kids to move back home, and they can be the dog sitters. So.
Boomerang is the thing; it happens.
That's right. I'm anticipating at least one of them moving back in this year. So.
What happened? So with work, you said there was going to be some transitions, or is it just temporary for the year, and then you're back in your old role, or is this a dividing path here?
Actually, for me at Western Allied, I have been there 33 years, and I love Western Allied. I love what I do. But being my husband retired last year, I'm actually kind of using this. I've been selling stock, and I will be transitioning the presidency to my partner, Zach Rusi. And by the end of this year, end of the year I'm president, within a few months of that, I'm going to retire. So it's actually a good transition for them to learn how to get to handle things without me. I won't be there all the time. I'll be there less, so that's a good transition. But I'm also not going to fully leave them either. I'm sure I can help them in the background. But I'm looking forward to being able to help in our industry in another way once I retire from Western Allied.
And do you still retain some of the ownership? I mean, past that point, you're going to sell,
No,
you have a unique structure, so maybe we touch on that a little bit. That would be kind of interesting to understand.
You know, Western Allied's been around almost 60 years, and we do have a unique ownership structure. The founding fathers, all guys, who set up Western Allied, set it up that there's no nepotism, so there is no family owned within the company. We're all partners, and we basically buy up to a certain amount of stock, and we run the business that way. And we work on a transition plan. So we have a succession plan that's dated out to 2030 practically. And we look at when we need to bring in new young partners to be able to basically buy out my stock as I'm going out, for example. And so that's a great plan, and it takes a lot of work because you never know who's going to be the right people. You have a bunch of them. You have to look at how to capitalize the company. But so that transition. So when I retire fully, when I sell my last stock, which will be at the end of next year, I will be no longer a partner in Western Allied. Now, if they want me to work for part-time for a little bit or something, I'll figure that out with them. But no more stock at that point.
Oh, okay.
So our rule is that if you want to be an owner in Western Allied, you need to be active. So you would need to have, if you're going to have stock, you need to be active. So I'm active enough this year with SMACNA and Western Allied, but next year I'll be done.
So you have junior partners or junior executives in the firm. How does the management, and I don't want to get into too much detail, but how do you decide who moves up in purchasing and ownership, and how does it become that, like for you, for instance, how did you end up becoming president?
Let's go with that one. That's probably a good way to do it. I was a young project manager, started out of college there, and actually had worked there for probably 7 years, when I was first asked by one of the partners if I'd be interested in investing in the company and becoming a partner. At the time, I actually just gotten married, and I had no kids yet, and I wasn't sure in that I wasn't sure, because my husband wanted to be a general manager of a hotel, and at that point I wasn't sure if we really wanted two big, powerful jobs. So I said to them that right now I would like to just continue status quo, be a project manager, and had my first son. My husband at that point said, hey, you know, I don't want to be a GM. I'm going to stay a controller. So at that point, we both said, if they offer that again, maybe I should jump on it. So I did. And it takes a long time to get fully bought in. And what happens is they offer it to somebody who looks like they're doing a good job, somebody who's achieving and performing, and it has a sales component to it, because we the partners are the ones that sell the work, get the work, and build the relationships. So basically, I started buying in stock, and once I got to fully bought in, I was full quota. I'm selling really well, and our most senior partner, who was our president, was retiring, and they voted me president as his replacement. So you get to a point where you buy enough stock, you get put on the board, and then for me, and like for Zach, for example, Zach interned for me in college, and then Zach Russi is going to be taking over as president when I retire, and he interned for me in college. And then we hired him right out of college, so he's worked his way up. He started buying stock, and now and he's been a full partner for a long time, been a vice president, and now he'll be president in a year.
Excellent.
So yeah, that's kind of how the transition works.
So you're very comfortable with it and pursuing baseball on a full-time basis.
Yes, yeah. I can go. We'll get to go. I want to hit every park if we can, and maybe even go to other countries and see. I have never been. It'd be fun to go to Japan and see baseball.
Oh,
so,
fun.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time. This has been really insightful, and can't wait to see how your year turns out. I know it'll be fantastic.
I'm really excited to go around and meet all the contractors and just really share the message that we have with SMACNA. And I've met so many amazing people with SMACNA, and the friendships I've made are forever. The contractors share really well. So this is going to be a great experience for me, and I'm hoping I can share and give back some of what SMACNA has given me this year. So.
Great.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff.